when that government is essentially in a full on either side, that's when the gridlock happens. So I think there's clearly a very broad consensus on where we need to go, and I think that is really expressed in the book that we have here. And I think that, so we really have to figure out how do we address this, because clearly the majority of people want this, but because of the nature of the politics it's not happening. And therefore I think addressing that is a very fundamental thing. The other thing which is very important, I think the reason this book is very important, is that nobody is really, apart from this book, made a convincing case as to why we have to continue the process of reform, why we need economic growth, why we need education, why we need access to opportunity for young people. There's this whole notion that if we have a bunch of government programs, we can get everything done. The reality is, if you look at the success of India in the last few years, it's the rise of the entrepreneur, it's the use of technology, it's the fact that we are much more comfortable with globalization and are willing to go out and take advantage of globalization, the fact that we have changed our view of population from a burden to population as human capital. These are the ideas that have changed, that has made us what we are. And I think, unfortunately, nobody is making enough persuasive arguments about this. And because the people who believe in this are not articulating and making this point of view public, the idea space is being vacated, and that vacuum is being filled by completely crazy ideas which really don't stand the test of scrutiny, which don't stand the test of empirical evidence. And therefore I think it's very, very important that all of us who believe that there is an agenda possible for this country which really involves the kind of idea that Mr. Chidambaram talks about, it's very important that we put those ideas out and bring that in center, because when you don't do that, then the vacuum is taken up by essentially failed ideas. And in some sense, I think this whole debate, on the, which almost, whether it was a vote of this time, that developers believe that India's time has come, and if we do the right thing in the right way, we can really have that crisp with destiny. I think it's more and more important that we come out and speak. And I think it's even more difficult for a politician to do that, because it's easy for a politician to pander to people by really being populist. I think the fact that Mr. Chidambaram has put out his ideas here is, I think, just one voice in the wilderness. But I think more people have to do that to really create the kind of momentum that we need to have, so that the kind of ideas which I believe the majority of people in India believe in are really put forth to achieve the kind of goals that we have for ourselves. Thank you very much.